I had the shit kicked out of me when I was a kid. I was abused for about 4 or 5 years. It was a way of finding the ability to fight back. And yeah, I didn't want to be hurt anymore, so I thought I'd try and be a tough guy. Still trying.
We be that elevated mafia, underachieving loud with us. Nigga, they ain't no stopping us. Prosperous off that golly drug monstrous when I spit this funk knowledge.
My name is Simon Rothwell, and I am a trainer and owner of Goodfellas Fitness. So Goodfellas Gym is a gym which does modified strongman, strength training, Muay Thai, and boxing as its main forms of discipline and expertise. We are a small boutique type gym with a lack of ego, which makes people feel comfortable to train here. We have a lot of blue collar people who train here, well-to-do housewives, students, teenagers, punks.
Indian style sit in my mind zones. Herbal essence, Cali Kush aroma for the stoners. Benjamin Frank's owners can get a Lincoln out us. Before you think about it, we got it. Just being honest, we progress when we ain't trying to UA. We redefining diamond without needle rhyming. Sharp nigga, ego shining. Hair on from here on, if not your hair wrong. Young intellect with fear gone, I take a beer on.
I first started when I was 16, so that was 26 years ago. And then started fighting again when I was 24. And finished university studies and started my own gym the next year, and the rest is history, and that was 2001. So I've been doing this for 15 years. It is dangerous, it's a dangerous sport. Rugby's a dangerous sport, but we try and minimise it with training and making sure that when you match them properly. You train them hard, you get them as best prepared as you can. Injuries and deaths still do happen, but for a mainstream person, it's very safe, and there's no potential for hurting yourself there. Oh shit. Watch it, shit. First is a bit of technique, getting these guys to try and think for themselves. So try and develop what we used before with the slipping and the long hands and the in and out, and seeing what is in their memory to reinforce it, and also get to in a combat situation. I can't think for them, they've got to learn how to actually be able to think for themselves. So this is an integral step in the training and the development of the technique. Boxing is quite complex. A lot of people don't truly appreciate how difficult it is to actually do what we do. I think boxing is an art form. I abhor violence, but heart is something that you have to have. So the martial art is a physical embodiment of an art, just kind of like what Kempo Karate is, or Jiu-Jitsu, but it's combative. Okay, so I want you to do left and right off that right hand. Static, 1, 2, back out. Move. Okay guys? Nice and smooth, good footwork. When people, without saying mean, but with an uneducated eye, look at a fight, they tend to see the violence, what they consider the violence in it. I see a dance that's complicated, that's emotional. I see guys having to lift themselves off the ground when they've been knocked down, or they're having to psych themselves up for the last few rounds, because if they don't, they might lose. So I see quite a complex action. Physical, spiritual and emotional, and that's why it's an art. I think that's why I watch a good fight, and I see the beauty in it. I see the pain that the guys are going through because I've experienced it, but I definitely think there is an art form in that people, if they could appreciate it like I do, would have a very different opinion of what boxing should be.
Always moving, snapping out lightning jabs to the head and body of Terrell. Here in round 7, the pattern of the fight continues with Ali, the master showman, revealing his entire repertoire of boxing mastery. Terrell never stops trying.
Boxing is definitely one of the most mentally challenging sports I think you can enter, and I'll take my hat off to anybody that gets in the ring. But it can change lives, so it gets people off the street and turns them into millionaires.
Let's watch the finishing blow. Crushing right hand. Wow, with a left hook, then a right hand right in the temple bone, and he's in trouble here. He reels backwards. We've got a brand new heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
It's improved my life and my sense of well-being and my relationship with myself more than I can equivocate. But at the same time, it has also been sometimes a bitch, pain in my ass. I'm riddled with injuries, but I still love what I do, and I consider myself very lucky. So it's a relationship that still is giving to me, and I'm learning, and it's something that I'm very proud of. One of the things that martial arts has done is keeps me clean. You know, I've had issues with drugs in the past and alcohol, and my love for martial arts exceeds my love for self-harm. So I would certainly think I would not be in a good place I am in my life if it wasn't for what I do. Yeah, pretty much. It's my opiate. I find I am better with my anxiety because I still have mental health issues. I'm on some medication, very light medication, but I find when I'm training more, I'm more focused, happier, more balanced, I suppose you could say, emotionally. And so most of my relationship with boxing now is not physical. It's a lot of it is based on what it gives me emotionally and spiritually. I've been doing stuff lately. I still learn from it. My nose was broken 30 seconds into the first round, and you can physically hear my testicles hit the floor. And so I'm just like, oh my fucking god. And I had to lift myself off, and I was after that fight, had my legs up in the air, I was lying down, and I was sweating for 40 minutes and was panting because I was so drained emotionally and physically by the whole experience. But that was one of the most thoroughly rewarding experiences, and then my face hurt for like 2 weeks.
God, I didn't mean to. After all, look what we've been through. Men come in different shades. It's how we're made. Drive the way I felt most alive.
It's a way of life. He's unequivocally.
That old Ford. I miss it, Lord.